Jay, the AFC Championship game was a very different style of game. The Denver Broncos versus the Patriots. The Patriots, they come out on top 10 points to 7. But Jay, what I don't get, SKOL curse is back.
Oh, it never left, baby. It never left.
The snow coming in from Minnesota as well. But Jay, what I don't get, just to start off, why were the announcers surprised at the snow? Like, wasn't all of the states covered in snowstorms that entire time, and you're in Colorado? Like, surely
it was supposed to be flurries, and you can see Sean Payton didn't realize it was supposed to be that thick, but somehow Vrabel did. So I'm not exactly sure all of that, but I know Sean Payton lost him that game, and it makes me feel real warm and fuzzy inside that Sean Payton is the reason they lost.
Go on then. Why is Sean Payton the reason that they lost?
You kicked the fucking field goal. When there's no snow, you kick the fucking field. But no, your dumbass goes for it on 4th down and gets stopped. And then you never score another fucking point. And then you lose by 3 because Sean Payton lost them that game. I fucking love it. It makes me feel so good inside.
Yeah, I think with Sean Payton going for it on that third, I kind of got it at the time because you're on a roll with Stidham. But then by not getting any points, you just completely kill all momentum just immediately. So you may as well just like roll the momentum by coming back every time you get into the red zone. You have to come back with points. Like that's what we all knew this was going to be a low scoring football game. Like we all knew that. So like you had to come back with points like every time. And they turned down the points. And if you knew that it was going to snow later, even if it says flurries, you never know with snow. Like I find snow is like the least predictable, right? So like a flurry can turn into a blizzard pretty fucking quickly. And like if you knew that that was coming at all, then you should have just kicked that field goal at the time as well.
Well, Gate. This sets up for the Patriots to do the most amazing thing. They can beat 4 out of the top 5 defenses in the playoffs and Super Bowl by beating the Seahawks and winning the Super Bowl. They have went through 4 of the top 5 defenses.
What was that run? So they've played, Texans, Broncos, Seahawks, and then do the Chargers. How the Chargers count as a top defense?
They were rated top 5, so that's all I can tell you in the ratings. So.
Okay.
They're going to be a team that had to go through 4 of the 5 to get to a Super Bowl. If they do that to me, because you're already in a legendary organization, that takes Vrabel and Drake May up to a level that above just being a Super Bowl champ. Like you did something amazing that has never been done before, which is really cool if you like greatness. It's really bad if you hate the Patriots, right? So those people who hate the Patriots, that's just another shit sandwich they have to eat.
Yeah, I think with the Patriots run, so the Patriots have what was it? It's like the 3rd easiest regular season schedule of all time, or like something like that. And it's like that you just play fucking who's in front of you.
And they're all professional football players who get paid. Yeah. We watch shitty teams beat good teams all the time. So, I find that crazy.
I would also say the shitter, like the top level of the league is maybe not necessarily as good as it's always been. But the shittest teams in the league are much better than they're much better. Like I remember when I first started watching football, I was like, okay, there's teams that are just going to get blown out 50 points to 0, like when you're going through. So I feel like the actual bottom of the league is better than it's
the parity is way better.
Like it's far closer as well. So I think like that, technically they have the easiest schedule, but it also doesn't take into account like when you play these teams. Like I've never understood strength of schedule determining like position.
Because the problem is once you get to strength of schedule, you've already been through like 3 or 4 tiebreakers.
Yeah, exactly. So what, like once you're there, like I know that's shit, but like it's like strength of schedule and stuff like that. I really don't understand the whole like strength of schedule reasoning, because it's about when you meet those teams, right? Like if you meet the Chiefs when they're playing Patrick Mahomes versus when you meet the Chiefs when they're playing Chad Oduoke, that's a different prospect that you've got to go up against there in terms of the strength of schedule and all of those things.
Ask the Packers how easy the Browns are.
But yeah, right.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Ask a few teams how easy the Browns are. If they had an offense, you would have been in trouble. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly.
Unless you're playing the Raiders fucking 16 times, I ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, you play the Ravens in a game where they have Lamar Jackson versus a game where they don't have Lamar Jackson. Play the Bills in a game where they have Joe Burrow versus when they don't have Joe Burrow. It's totally different. So it's this strength of schedule bullshit going through, and then people say, CJ Stroud fell apart. They played Jarrett Stidham. It's like, well, CJ Stroud fell apart in part because of the Patriots defense.
Yes,
right? The Patriots defense is very good. And they're the most underrated defense in the league, I think. And Jay, where you're saying Sean Payton is the reason for them losing, I think Sean Payton is the reason for them losing for a totally different way. The Broncos could not run the football whatsoever. And it's because the Patriots have an excellent defense. And it means that Jarrett Stidham had to go beat them because they just couldn't run the ball. And the issue with that with Sean Payton is they haven't really been able to run the ball since J.K. Dobbins was out all season due to a total lack of creativity in the run game. If you're going up against this Patriots front, don't run up the middle. You can't. It's impossible to run up the middle against this defense with Milton Williams. It's just not going to happen. So they need to get to the outside. They need need more creative plays, and they just didn't put any creative plays on whatsoever. So I think Sean Payton is to blame because of that, and I think the Patriots deserve to go through. Jay, this is kind of in the same thing of what we were talking about, but how much can we take from Drake May's performances in this postseason? They've not been great in terms of the numbers, but those defenses kind of negate that, right? Surely.
Yeah, and are we faulting a guy for putting up a couple touchdowns and throwing for less than 200 yards when that's all it took for them to win a game? You know what I mean? At times. And this team is not set up for Drake May to carry them, which it should not be. They're a well-rounded team. They have two-headed running back. They have solid receivers with really good tight ends. They are set up to come out, play defense, smack you in your fucking mouth, let you know that they were there. This is a Vrabel team. They just happen to have a quarterback who, if he needs to, can do some superstar shit. But if the Bills would build their team like this for Josh Allen and stop making him do Super Bowl shit all the time, we might see a different Bills team and different Josh Allen. This is exactly how you should coach your superstar quarterback. And anybody who at this point does not think Drake May is a superstar quarterback has to explain to me why. I literally need to know why.
Yeah, and I think people who say things like this is the two most undeserving Super Bowl competitors that we've ever seen doesn't understand what the league is now and has been for a couple of years. The league is about creating teams, football teams. The reason the Eagles beat the Chiefs in the last Super Bowl is the Eagles team roster, Howie Roseman just put it together as a whole team. So it's a totally different understanding of what the NFL is. And people are using the stat of Drake May threw for 173 yards against the Houston Texans. So yes, he only threw for 173 yards, and I think he only threw for less than 100 in this game against the Broncos as well. But James, the only person this season to throw 3 touchdowns on the Houston Texans. It's a complete non-realization that Houston Texans defense could go down as one of the best defenses of all time, with the way that they've put it together. And he threw 3 touchdowns, the only person to put 3 touchdowns throwing the ball on the Texans all year.
What more do you ask of a quarterback than 3 touchdowns also, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we more worried about touchdowns or passing yards? Because it's not Drake May's fault, I guess, if you want to use that word, that his defense and special teams gets him good field position and that he's got running backs that can help out in the game plan. I don't understand these arguments. And then when anybody who uses this Denver game, they literally had 2 quarters to throw the football. What the fuck was anybody going to do in that? And again,
Yeah.
I know people don't like this, and it's weird that the old guy's the one saying it. Everybody should have a fucking dome.
I like the
It's
differences in the way that
2026.
they can
It
come
should
up.
be a fucking dome.
Like it. I
I
like it.
know.
I think it like brings stuff. But it's one of my favorite things about the NFL, those like snow games, because that game gets called off. Like in the UK, that game's called off. They're not playing it. In other sports. So with the, but with that and with Drake May, like the visibility. So like the British broadcasters, they had a person there. We don't normally get a person at the stadiums, but for the playoffs, we get people at the stadiums and stuff. So you had a person there, and they were basically just saying like, I can't see 10 yards in front of, like I can't really see most of this game. Like we're all just watching the game on the TV, like
you do
on the
know,
massive TV.
We in the Midwest, we drive in that, right? You know, we leave the house and we go out into the world in that kind of weather.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and in Latvia, like it's the same.
Yeah, I bet it.
But it's just like with the passing game, it's like obviously they can't pass the ball in this. No one can see anything. Like, you know, and I remember I was saying to my dad, so Jared, when the Broncos just stopped having any ability because they couldn't run the ball. And I remember saying to my dad, like, they may as well just launch one downfield and just see what happens, because it's not only hard for the wide receivers to catch the ball in this weather, it's impossible for the cornerbacks to catch the ball in this weather as well. So you may as well just see what happens. And with these like sticky ass gloves that all the wide receivers have got, like something might
or the pass interference,
bigger body, or the pass interference that you could get, you may as well just like throw the ball down the field. And the next play, Jared Stone drops back and throws it directly to the cornerback. Like takes a shot down the field. He misses his first attempt down the field, and then he takes another shot down the field and throws it right miles away from his wide receiver, right to the cornerback, and that just ends the game right there. So yeah, great play calling from me. Jay, on the other side of the ball with the Broncos, looking at their quarterback position with Jared Stitton's performance in that game, where I thought he was okay to start off with, and then he had that mad fucking turnover where instead of taking the sack and losing 5 yards, he decides to try and not take the sack and throws it away. And it's just like, okay, cool, you're a backup quarterback. That's why you're not going to get signed for a team next year. Basically, that play. Does that performance grow Bo Nix's stock? Will people have like a new respect for Bo Nix after watching that?
Maybe, but I know that Bo Nix and Sean Payton are in a fucking squabble through the media right now over his injury. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out, because Sean Payton comes out and says, oh, his ankle was some generative thing that was going to happen regardless. And he comes out and he's like, no, it isn't. That dude doesn't even know how many surgeries I fucking had. I'm like, I like that there's this little rift in Denver, not because I hate the Broncos, because I fucking hate Sean Payton. And so I hope he never wins a game again. But if anybody thought Jared Stidham was going to come out and play like Bo Nix, like I said, we already know Bo Nix is an NFL quarterback. We just don't know if he's elite. And he still has the chance to be elite. That's just the only question we have at this point. We know he's an NFL quarterback.
It's just when you see these guys like in the media talking about Bo Nix, it's just like, oh, he's not that good. He just has a Sean Payton system. It's like, what wide receivers is Bo Nix throwing to? Please. Like Patrick Surtain is his best wide receiver. Okay, Patrick Surtain is a number one wide receiver in this league. Just like, you know, like he's on the edge.
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, sorry, Colin Sutton. I mean, Patrick Surtain might have better hands.
And everybody knows that Maddie knows who Patrick is, because he's still got some deep down resentments that he's not a Cowboy.
Now that Micah Parsons is not a Cowboy anymore, missing out on Patrick Surtain makes me feel bad. But yeah, like I remember when we were watching that thing live and I was like, Patrick Surtain's going to be there, and then he gets taken the pick right before. But, you know, we got Micah Parsons out of it, so that's fine. But with, so he has Colton Sutton, he has like Franklin, and it's not a great wide receiver core he's thrown to. They don't really have a great run game. They have one of the best offensive lines in the league. So that's going for Bo Nix. But Bo Nix makes these huge plays like every time. Like every time a question's been asked of him, he's made a huge play to take them to this point. And then you see what the Broncos offense is without him. I don't see how you could look at Bo Nix now after watching that game and not think, oh yeah, Bo Nix makes a big difference for this Broncos team. Having him in there, that makes him at least top 15 to top 10 in the NFL, right? Like immediately. Like he's immediately in that. Dak.
Yeah, we all know he's a solid quarterback who can make plays, and when they release him at the end of the game, he's way better than at the beginning of the game. My only question is, bro, can you put this team on your back and carry him? But I know you're an NFL quarterback. I know you're solid, and I don't think that they should be looking for a new quarterback or anything. I just don't know if he's elite yet.
Yeah, and Jay, going into next season, obviously – the Patriots have one more game to play. They're going into the Super Bowl, but going into next season for the Denver Broncos, what do we think of them next season? How do we think they're placed? Obviously, you still got the SKOL curse overhead, but pretend the SKOL curse doesn't exist.
You can't.
Yes.
You can't. It's a thing, and it absolutely matters. And I still think they'll be a good team. I still think they'll make the playoffs, and I think Payton's heart will get ripped out of his chest again, just like when he was with the Saints and the Rams tackle their fucking player in the middle of a play, just like the Minnesota Miracle, just like him not being able to collude and go to Miami with Tom Brady, and just like his bad coaching that cost him in this game, I think his heart will get ripped out in the playoffs.